What's going on, everybody? It's E. Mackey, and I am here broadcasting from San Francisco. I took a flight out here to do some work from one of my favorite clients, Twitter, as you can see. But while I wait on my next person to shoot, while I'm here, I figured I'd just go ahead and take this opportunity to make my next video for you guys. In the next video, I was thinking of a new topic, and I figured that my next topic would be on relationships and the fact that it ain't about you. And I'm coming and telling you about this topic because this is something that was like personal to me, something that I had to realize. And then once I realized it, I felt like it became easier for me to meet people. And I eventually got into the relationship that I'm in now with the beautiful, gorgeous, outstandingly attractive, just wonderful woman that I am with right now. So there are a lot of people that know me, that know of the things that I do, places that I've been, celebrities I work with, companies that I work with, yada, 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 yada. I'm well aware of that too, and I don't think that I'm particularly a bad looking guy. So I always view myself as a catch, which everybody does, which everybody should. So in my mind, I always approach relationships as I'm a catch, I want this, I want that, she has to have this, she has to have that, she has to have this, she has to have that. And I always approach relationships from a standpoint of what I wanted, what my fantasy person was, right? And so one day I was at home, chilling, sitting down, thinking about my fantasy woman. And then it dawned on me that the person I was fantasizing about probably was not fantasizing about me. And then a light bulb went off and I said, well, man, wait a minute. I want all these qualities in a woman. But then when I thought about the woman that I wanted, the type of man that she was fantasizing about probably wasn't me. She probably wanted a guy with a six-pack, with muscles, with a nice car, with a nice career, with a certain amount of money, with a certain credit score, and all of this different stuff. And then I realized that the woman I wanted, I wasn't that guy for her. So I had to really take some time and really assess who I was and what it was that I was doing. Yeah, I was traveling to a lot of different countries. I was working with a lot of different people. My life was relatively happy. Everything that I had going on was going on. However, at the time, I was 31, something like that. And I had a roommate living with one of my buddies. My credit was horrendous. I was living in New York, New Jersey area, so I didn't have a car. And for anybody that lives in that area, you know you don't particularly need a car, but I didn't have a car. And I made decent money, but I wasn't on the baller level. I didn't have a six-pack or anything like that. And so I'm just thinking to myself, man, the woman that I want probably doesn't want me. So then I had to really think about it and say, it's something more to this. It's something more to this. Maybe I need to approach this relationship thing from a standpoint of let me be the person that you're looking for instead of me looking for the person that I want. Because trying the method that I was doing before just wasn't working at all. When I began to focus on myself, not from a selfish standpoint, but from a better myself standpoint, so that I could be the fantasy of somebody else as opposed to me looking for my own fantasy, I started to realize that it actually felt good. It started becoming about being in a relationship, and it actually really became about me focusing on me and being better for me. And it was great to look at my credit score go up and up and up. And it was great to see my financial situation go up and up and up. And I moved out of the house with my buddy, eventually got a nice car, got a Mustang convertible now. And I just really got in a good space. And then when I met my girlfriend, I was in a position to be more of somebody that she fantasized about versus what I fantasized about. The next thing that I needed to do was I needed to learn how to love a woman, right? As a man, I always find it interesting that a guy would say, I need to have a woman that'll cook, that'll do this, that'll do that, but then he's not the type of man that would take out the trash. He's not the type of man that even has a toolbox. He's not the type of man that can change a tire because he probably doesn't know how. He's not the type of man that even has a properly fitting suit, and he may not have a tie, own a tie, and if he does, may not know how to tie the tie. So if you cannot be a man, how can you expect to have a woman that is going to be a woman, fit into that traditional gender role of a woman? I just wanted to highlight some of the things that we do as men when we look for love and some of the expectations that we set for women when we don't really meet any of their expectations. As a man, I think that one of the things that we focus on a lot as men is protection. and like providing for a woman, and that's cool. Like, I think that we think about protection from a physical standpoint, whereas if I'm walking down the sidewalk with my woman and somebody comes to rob us, my initial response is to take her and put her behind me. But that's okay, but how often are you gonna get robbed on the street? I think that protection goes deeper, and it goes into something like emotional protection. And I think that as men, we don't think about it from that standpoint. We're okay with taking a bullet, we're okay with stepping in front of our woman for anything physical, but then when it comes to emotional, we leave her high and dry. And so I challenge you as a man to protect your woman mentally and emotionally, and put your feelings to the back burner so that you can protect hers, because that's a part of protection. When I was growing up, I had this misconception that I was expected to, as a man, heal my woman. And I always rebelled against that. Like, it's not my job to fix a woman. It's not my job to fix a woman. It's not my job to fix a woman. Then I went to the point where I thought, okay, wait a minute, maybe I'm supposed to fix her. And then I started to evolve that way of thinking, and I realized it's not about fixing a woman. It's about creating a space that makes it safe for her to fix herself. Creating a space for her that makes it safe for her to look at herself, look at her issues, and then just resolve them. You know, I liken this idea to gymnastics, right? So in gymnastics, you have the person that's like learning how to do the flips and all that stuff. You're not there to teach her how to do the flip. You're more like the mat. You're in place so that as she learns to do it, if she falls, she's safe. It's her job to learn how to do the action, but it's your job to just make sure that she's okay if she falls, and to just let her know that and to make her feel safe. So in order to be in that situation, you have to totally take yourself out and totally put yourself in a position where you think about her and her needs and what she wants and all that type of stuff. And at first it's kind of difficult, particularly if you're in a relationship with somebody that's not on that level or doesn't get how to be selfless. But it ain't about you. So without going too much further in the tangent, this is a short video today. I just wanted to let you guys know that it ain't about you. And to think about, as you think about the white picket fences and the puppies and like the kids and all the things that you fantasize about when you go into a relationship, stop thinking about your fantasy and start focusing more on being somebody else's fantasy. Make sure that you guys follow me on my social media down here, personal and my motivational page, Open Chakras. Make sure that you comment, make sure that you share this with somebody that needs to hear it. Make sure you share it with somebody that doesn't need to hear it. And if you want to see me write or talk about something else in the future, leave it in the comments. Debate with me, talk to me, whatever. It's E. Mackey. Thanks for listening.